A drone in aviation and space refers to what is most commonly known as a UAV, which stands for an unmanned aerial vehicle. These vehicles are controlled from the ground using a controller and a system of communications that connect the pilot to the aircraft, making drones suitable for a wide range of tasks from military operations and filming for high budget films to recreational use and delivering packages. Depending on the task needed to be completed, the size of drones can vary from fitting in the palm of your hand to being as large as an aircraft. As I previously mentioned, the fact that drones are controlled remotely and can be flown at increasing distances and heights, they have become increasingly useful for a wide range of tasks. One of the first, most well known uses has been with the military. The U.S. military, in particular, started using early and simple forms of drones in the 1940s in order to discreetly gain insight on the Axis powers. Since then, however, drones have become increasingly sophisticated, allowing them to become more precise and capable, as they now feature a number of thermal imaging and laser rangefinders. These have also expanded their uses from strictly military to now being adopted into emergency search and rescue missions and even being put into space by NASA and the Air Force, and a number of other uses where it might not be safe to send humans. However, drones have also shown an increased potential in other sectors that relied heavily on employees to perform tasks that would be better served by drones. One such example is wildlife and historical conservation. These sectors require round the clock tracking of wildlife populations, which is nearly impossible to do on the ground. Drones would enable conservationists to gain a better understanding of the health of species and the ecosystems they belong to by having a discrete eye in the sky. Drones are currently being used mostly in the United States by the military, commercially by motion picture filmmaking, and recreationally by everyday citizens who are seeking a new hobby in aircraft flight. I've already touched a little bit on the widespread advantages of drones that make them suitable tools for the wide range of tasks that the military might use them for, but another key adopter of drone use is in the film industry, where they offer a cheap and safe alternative to capturing aerial footage that previously required helicopters. The increasingly durable hardware and sophisticated software has increased the capabilities of cinematographers in capturing a specific shot. Nowadays, we see footage where drones fly straight towards a car and pull up at the last second, or slowly pull up from a close up scene in order to expose backdrops in one smooth cut. As software becomes more sophisticated, filmmakers will make drone flight more accessible as they incorporate more and more features that make drones steadier in any conditions and be able to avoid obstacles. This steady increase in drone technology has lowered the barrier to entry substantially, and I believe that we will see many different sectors find uses for drones and incorporate them into their operations in the coming years. News outlet sources have seen an increase in the need for drones that are able to capture an entire scene by flying above the scene and getting footage that is unattainable by a crew on the ground. In the news industry, precision and timing are at the forefront of what enables a news story to be as accurate and informative as possible. BBC has a particular advantage in this aspect as they are an already established, well-resourced company that would allow them to employ their own team of drones that could capture a wide range of footage that would enhance their news reporting capabilities. But as drones technology becomes more widespread and affordable, more and more smaller news outlets will incorporate them into their operations, which will in effect level the playing field significantly, making capturing news and footage more accessible and widespread. However, drones would also allow BBC to gain access to a higher rates of footage and news stories that are potentially dangerous for traditional cameramen to be on the front line. These include stories such as the poaching epidemic of elephant and rhino tusks, where poachers and government officials are constantly at war in order to save these animals from being killed for their tusks to be sold in lucrative underground ivory markets. These drones would enable BBC to capture better footage of the animals and potentially gain more insight into the ongoing violence, without the risk of putting more people in danger, and better inform the public on what's going on and how they can help. I believe the mass adoption of drones is already in effect as more and more corporations are finding ways to incorporate the wide range of uses of drones into their operations. However, I believe that as drone software becomes more sophisticated in the coming years, the uses of drones will expand, which will grow the rate at which they are adopted and what they are used for. But in the long run, drones will just get better and better at what they do and won't really expand past the sectors they are already established in. Instead, they will just increase how much these corporations already rely on them. Drones have the unusual ability to reach high altitudes, travel at high speeds, and are becoming easier for people to use as improving software makes them smarter. This makes them a perfect candidate for providing medicine and vaccines in countries such as Burkina Faso, where hospitals have become overrun and where most of the population is spread around the country in sparse communities. Drones would enable the medicine and vaccines to be provided in a way that reduces the need for in-person interactions and allow previously alienated communities to have access to treatment where they previously relied on what they had available to them in their remote villages.